welcome back to Big Spruce Farm. Christine here.
And George.
We are back at the property, and the first thing we do every time we get here is a quick run around to see what's happened. So we want to check for down trees, state of the fields, etc.
Yeah, so we just came up to the first field from the barn buildings, and we're gonna head on up through what will eventually be the orchard to the nut grove. Then we'll loop back around, cross the gorge and stream, and head up through the main fields, up to the pond and to the very top of the property, and just see what's happening.
We're going to take you along for the ride.
All right, so although it may not look like it, this was once a giant pasture for cows, and now it has grown up in probably about 20 feet of mostly honeysuckle, but a lot of invasive trees. This one's really coming on strong. This is all going to be cleared out in the near future, and this is where our permaculture orchard is going to go. It's a lovely medium slope south facing, so it gets really good sun, and you don't get any heat, cold sinks for frost. The cold air travels down into the woods away from this, so it's the perfect place on the property for a permaculture orchard. We're heading to the nut grove next, which is one of the higher points on the property.
And we've started to do some clearing there, so.
Yeah, that might look a little better. Probably not much.
I hope so. It's so overgrown. I mean, it's crazy. It's so overgrown just in the shortest time because it's been the perfect conditions for it, so.
All right, let's keep going. All right, so here we are at the pasture that is one of the higher points on the property. This is going to eventually be the nut forest. And as you can see, Christine is walking in. This area here in the foreground, with all the dragonflies and the butterflies, which are lovely, is we cleared all this. You can see there's a brush pile here, and there's a big brush pile here. We will be mulching those in place. But as you can see, this is, this is meadowy, and this is sort of what we want to create in a lot of these fields that are not being put into production of food, which would be the nut forest and the orchard. You can see if you look, over here to the edge, this one isn't quite as bad, but this is the hedge that we're cutting out. So this is what we've been chopping down, and we will be mulching up. And then eventually, we will have trees, and we will be maintaining them.
Come see my, the stumps are already thrown out. I'm gonna live.
Yeah, so those are the Japanese honeysuckle right there. We cut them down, using chainsaws and stuff, and basically dropped.
But until we get the
branches.
roots out, we'll be fighting. Sorry, I've got black flies chasing me. Up in the pine trees. Woo. Oh, these are coming down for sure. Basically, anything that hits me while we do a runabout goes on my list of the first to come down. So I got a couple of honeysuckles that I think. Matter of fact, we got the same thing. We can just take them down. Go back around. Just knock a couple down. What you see?
We need to investigate something.
Ooh. Okay. Hold on.
As I was driving through, I'm always paying attention to what the native wildflowers are, that if you do succession cuts at certain heights, it allows them to come out and kind of kills off the goldenrod, which is really invasive. And so I know that there's 5 or 6 things that come out that are native flowers if you cut at the right time of year, but I've never seen this one before. So this is brand new. It looks like almost, I was going to say it looks like a sedge, but I don't think this is the same as that.
Let's get it to focus. There we go.
I think that,
So George is going to do plant identifier.
I'm trying to get it to focus on it. Come on, dude.
By the way, I'm loving that you've moved on from the German black socks.
To be fair, they were gray socks, and they were up to my knee.
And to be fair, George is also German. So I'm not blasting Germans at all. I just like to tease him about it.
All right, let's see if we can get an ID on this. It's not focusing very well. It's focusing on everything but.
It is so green and lovely. And I apologize because your camera person is getting besieged by bugs. So I'm a little shaky.
This is definitely it.
What is it?
Pilosella oranticea. Let's see what the common name is.
Can you insert a
completely
picture of it or
butchering
something?
that. Fox and cubs.
Can you insert a picture of it so
Yes.
people can see? Cool.
An orange hawkweed or devil's paintbrush. All the
Oh
common
my
names.
gosh, wait a minute. Oh, devil's paintbrush is different than devil's club. I got a handful of devil's club one time and that was nasty.
Yeah. So we've got a lot of different wildflowers that come up just naturally here if you get the succession of cut correctly. There's, buttercup. I forget what these white ones are. There's a blue flower that comes up. There's beautiful thistles. A lot of different stuff that should be coming out any minute now. It's like really right about the time when all the lower story wildflowers bloom. We got daisies, obviously.
Those are lovely.
Bachelor buttons. Like there's a lot of really cool stuff.
Let me just say, in all honesty, George is much more excited about the native flowers than I am, because I grew up in rural areas, but I like very low cut things. And I'll tell you the reason why. It's bugs. I don't like the bugs that are down in the base that kind of function in the root area.
Yeah.
And I don't like walking through because I'm worried about getting ticks on me. So I get a little bug crazy about it, and I'm like a little. So I'm biting my tongue a little bit, not because I don't love wildflowers, but because I don't really want to be trolloping through them.
There will be room for everything. It'll be, we'll do probably 8 acres of permaculture orchard and other hedges that produce food, nuts and berries and things like that. There will be probably 5 acres that are a forest that is just a mixture of different sorts of nut trees.
That's where we're standing right now.
Where we're standing. That's what this will be. This whole clearing area, this will all become chestnuts and walnuts and different kinds of, cold hardy nut trees.
Oh my.
Yeah. But then we still have another 35 or 40 acres of overgrown field that there will be sections of it that are kept cut, that we cut every 2 weeks, and we keep sections that are low grass so you can walk through them easily. But then ideally, we will have sections that are like this in the summer, you know, that we cut maybe twice a year.
You will not find me there unless it's on a tractor
Well,
with a mower
but you
deck.
can walk through the cut area next to them and enjoy all the beautiful
Yes,
flowers and the butterflies and the dragonflies and the bees and the bugs and all the good stuff.
I will be in charge of trail maintenance to make sure there's a lovely, wide walking, running,
and there will be sections that are big
trail.
open areas of cut grass as well. You'll see. We're going to finish our way around this grove, cross the creek, and then you'll see a section that I literally 2 weeks ago, I cut about 1.5 acres and opened it all up.
I'm excited to see.
Anyway, the whole devil's paintbrush thing is fucking cool. I haven't seen those at all before.
There were some wasps' nests up here
Were there?
in bushes, like big ones up in here.
Oh,
so,
yeah?
yeah.
The big white pond coming up. Oh, that guy.
Oops. George missed the turn.
Beep, 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 beep.
I like the sound effects, George.
Beep, beep,
There you go.
Second to say that all of this used to be pasture. This is what maybe 10 years of neglect does. Maybe not even that, because I mean, at a certain point, like on Google Maps, this property was cut. It was still kind of fields, like grown up 4 or 5 feet, but fields, not bushes.
Let me also just say, Bob, benign neglect.
Yeah,
okay?
yeah.
Not neglect.
I'm not saying we're friends with the person that we bought the farm from, and it's not like he didn't care. He lived on the other side of the country and was unable to manage the property, which is why he didn't want to, but he decided to sell it, and we bought it from him.
Yay!
So, thanks, Bob. So wait till you see once we get past this little rise.
I'm just so excited I'm not getting to face the trees.
Oh, yeah. There's some clover here. You see all the clover creeping in? Look at this. So Christine is wowing because the last time she was here, which was a couple of days prior to me being here doing work,
I haven't seen what he's done.
all this was bushes. She had requested that she needed some open areas, hence the bug thing, places that she can get around, and obviously it needs to be cut again. But, you know, this is about 1 acre that I opened up at the top of the property that allows us to do something up here. you know, without having, you could see the bushes. Everything was this big 2 weeks ago.
Breathe.
Yeah. So I left that
Autumn
autumn olive, my favorite invasive. Evidently,
I
number
thought I was
one,
your favorite invasive.
the flowers smell to me fantastic. I don't know what the smell is, but it's amazing to me. And according to Akiva Silver, who owns Twisted Root Farm not too far from where we are, the berries are a really good, nutritious fiber source, antioxidants. He calls them a misunderstood plant. So we're keeping a lot of our autumn olives, and this year when the berries come up, which they came up last year, we're going to go around and pick berries and taste them, because some berries taste like crap or bitter. Other berries taste really super sweet. So we're going to identify the bushes that are good and keep those.
I would like to put a little asterisk here.
I'm going to do it.
He's going to taste them. I'm not tasting them. I will help pick them.
I'm sure you'll love them. All right,
I'll pick them.
let's keep going.
I'm just so excited. Oh, you see the pond?
All right, that was a pretty quick.
Whew. Don't drive into it, George. My goodness.
The pond.
The pond. Wow, that's just pretty.
She's a beaut.
I don't think she's very deep, though.
No, I think that it hasn't. There hasn't been any maintenance done to it. You know, any dredging and cleaning up around edges and stuff. And you can see, like over to the right here, how much sediment and grass has grown in. I've seen pictures of this pond from the late 80s when it was 3 times this size, and you could easily swim in it.
Okay.
So it is a thing that we would like to do in the future, is to probably fully drain this one year and do some dredging, clean, you know, deepen up the center section a little bit if we can, and also if we can get it dry enough, use the bulldozer to push it and make it a bigger surface area so that it holds more water. Like ideally, we would have maybe 2 or 3 more of these on the property as well, of this size, so we can keep as much water on the property and use it to water our nut grove, our permaculture orchard, and any other things we want to grow, so that we're not relying on wells or any kind of other source.
So I'm curious, those of you watching, I am anti-pond. George is pro-pond. Have you gone swimming in ponds? Do you have fun memories? And Bob, if you're watching, I want to know down in the comments, I want you to tell me if you ever went swimming in this pond.
Well, I know Bob went swimming in this pond. What I want to know from Bob is, how deep was it? When you got in, could you touch the bottom, and was it all muddy?
Not muddy, I call it squelchy and squishy.
Or were you treading water? What I'd like to know, so for me, leave me in the comments, how many ponds do you have on your property? Because in my opinion, the more ponds you have, the more water. Water is so important to agriculture, and having ponds on your property is just a boon. Like, that keeps you, you know, growing all season. So how many ponds do you have on your property? Beep, 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 beep.
There might be a section where I still get hit in the face here.
Yeah, there's a couple of tight spots coming up. I did up here, but I didn't do nearly as well. But you see, I cleared a little wider.
Yeah.
And I took the tractor around our spruces coming in gangbusters.
I just left that autumn olive.
Yeah.
I'm happy to take them down because that will help. Obviously, you can see we've got some brush piles. We took all that out.
Here's an interesting one, tree and farm people. So we have these white pines on the property. Now, I am pretty sure when I looked at this particular white pine, just maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago, it looked like it was almost dead. It had almost no green on it, and I thought that it had succumbed to some sort of disease. It is not the only one, and I'm wondering, does anybody know what is affecting these? We have this variety of pine scattered around the property, and they are either dead or really, really struggling. So if you've had to deal with this, I'm wondering if this isn't I don't know what family gooseberry is in, but I'm wondering if it's that pine blight that is the reason that gooseberries and currants are banned in the southern states. It's so beautiful up here right now. All right, so that gets us to the very top of the property. We actually own, you saw as we looped around and you could see the dark pine forest. We actually own quite a bit more that goes down the north side of this little mini mountain or hill into the pine forest, but there's no roads down in there. You have to walk. But this is sort of the top of where the roads are, and this gets us to most of the property. But interestingly, we're only showing you sort of the west side of the property, if you will. This property is really big, and there's an enormous amount of pastures and hill land to the east, directly in front of us right now, that we don't really have access to unless we want to hike it. Yeah. We plan on cutting roads in, and there's an enormous set of 2 fields over there with the old sheep stone walls that we're planning on clearing out.
It's sort of 3 sections, if you will. So the first third on the west is pretty accessible. The middle third, where we are right now, we can get to the upper half. The lower half you have to walk, and then it drops off. And then the east third is woods and stone walls, and it's just, there's no roads into there. It really has been left wild. So I've trekked around in there, but you can't easily go in.
It's really tough this time of year. In the winter, it's a bit easier because there's no greenage on the trees and bushes, and you can kind of pick your way in the easiest places to get through, but it's still tough. I mean, those pastures, I don't believe those have been cut in a really long time, and it's really hard to get through. Yeah, they're
very thick. We will bring you separate video. We'll bring you along and take you through the woods and show you stuff. And I've got some barbed wire to collect, some old barbed wire that was property lines, and I need to go back and collect it to make sure nothing gets tangled into it. So we will take you along on those adventures.
Yeah, I think probably we need to do a walkabout and tidy up our property line signage. It's been done, but it is not exact. There's some spots where we could do a little better.
Well, there's spots we didn't do.
Okay, yet. So I would say that probably would be a good opportunity to do an actual walk, look at some of those less accessible sections.
Yeah, the
and
north
put up some signs.
The north and west side have good signage on them.
Yeah, and
Mike and I did that when he came up to help me.
Yeah, so we basically, there's certain parts that are really well signed. The parts that are not super well signed are neighbors that we know very well that own large tracts, and theirs are signed very well. So it's one of those things where
we figured to do that second.
It's one of those things where we know that they're not, we know they have permission to be here, as do we on their property. So it's not a big issue. But I think as a little bonus here, let's run a couple of these trails that have been cut, but they haven't been cut this year at all. Obviously, as we said in the beginning, we are going out of order. This is real time. The next video you see is going to be the first time we bring the tractor up to the farm and really get into, you'll see what it looked like. It'll be crazy. But let's run down a couple of these smaller paths that go to the eastern fields, and hopefully we don't catch a branch in the face, or
I'm going to catch the branch in the face and you're going to get it with me because I'm holding the camera, but that's okay.
Or, you know,
I'll take one for the team.
when you see it coming, bring the camera inbound and shoot through the windshield.
What fun is that?
All right, let's do it. Or as everyone says now, shout out to Kevin Nealon, the originator. Let's go. Okay. I don't really remember what the clearest pathway is here. All the way back in here? No. I don't remember where I went and how much of this I cut.
It's getting squozed and dark.
Do I just blast through?
Okay guys, hang tight.
Bring it inbound, because you're gonna get cut up in there.
I gotta slide the inside.
Yeah, we gotta stay way in. If you can see, this is what everything looked like when we first bought the property.
I'm trying to get my overalls out of the shot.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Let's see what we can do. I think we can make it through this section. Yep. All right, we got it dead. I'm gonna go hard my side. So, like, I think we've been through here.
That's like a dead end to me.
I don't know.
What?
No, I think it's not. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Way in.
Ow. Ow.
All right. Get into me.
Ouch.
All right, actually,
I feel like you're flinging ticks at me, man. I have detritus.
well, I'm kind of thinking that we might be in the east field.
No, we're not.
No? Okay.
No, because there's a stone wall.
Oh, yeah, we wouldn't, that's right. We wouldn't be able to do this stone wall. I'm going in as far as I can to my side. Okay, I found our path. Here we go.
Ow.
I know where this is.
Oh, food plot.
Yeah, so here's the part that I cleaned out previously.
All right, I'm going to give you a little breathing for a minute.
Do we want to go that way? I don't
I mean, why not?
Really? Okay. All right. I think this does connect to another trail that goes around the back.
My sister and I were working on it a few weeks ago. I think straight through. What do you think? Ouch, 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 ouch.
I don't know. This looks like a bad news bears, but
Do you want me to get out and walk ahead and see
no,
if there's a spot?
I'll just
Okay.
just get all the way into the windshield.
Oh, this one's gonna hurt.
Oh, I found it.
Ow. Ow.
This is it. I know where this is. All right. All right. Well, if that's not worth a subscribe and a like, I don't know what the hell it is, because that I am messed up. I mean, there it is. We really took one for the team on that one. Now we know where we are. So this is parts that
bushes. We got
back,
bushes in the face. Oh wait, there's another path there.
Yeah, but this actually goes all the way down towards the waterfall. Here is where this is. I'm pretty sure, even though it's growing up more, this is where you and your look at this.
I like the decor. That's that much less I have to cut.
I'm pretty sure right here is where you and your sister were trying to cut into the other field.
Well, there should be some dead branches. It's up there.
Oh, there we go. I knew it was right down here somewhere. So yeah, so there's the future entrance to the east field is right there, between these giant old maple trees. That's
so
where
we're at the edge of the middle third, eastern edge of the middle third. There's some more we cut.
So we're back at the water crossing. It's unfortunate because it's really dry right now. This is sort of seasonal. In the cooler half of the year, over the winter into the spring, this runs really hard. There's a lot of water here.
And there's a gorgeous waterfall
That's fed by a couple of natural springs up on the hill that fill that pond and then come all the way down through the middle of the property. And down in the ravine here further, there is a 30-foot waterfall. I mean, it's stone ledges and water. You know, it's beautiful. It is literally why we bought this property. It's
true.
We
That's
hiked
what made us fall in love.
We hiked up into it and we heard it and we followed the noise and we saw that waterfall and we're like, we're buying this.
So I'm going to pop out just for a second and show you, and I'll walk you to as far as I can so you can kind of see down the gorge. I just wanted to get far enough that you can see it, because it's hard to see with all the green.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy that all these little channels were filled with water.
Yeah, rushing water enough that we were worried about being in it.
A month and a half ago, I guess.
I feel like it's kind of hard to see on the screen because it just looks like sunlight.
Here, let's go a little further in. Yeah, I mean, it is, that's the trick with...
I can't believe you're doing this with a cup of coffee in your hand.
Me?
Yeah.
Listen, I don't have a cup of coffee in my hand. I have a beer in my hand.
Oh, sorry, he's got an Ithaca flower power. My bad. Don't worry, we're not going to operate any heavy machinery today.
Just light machinery.
Ugh. Yeah, you can see a little bit better there. Ugh. So pretty back here.
Yeah. It's flying o'clock. Wow. It's just really buggy.
It's buggy o'clock.
It's not even the time of day. Like as soon as...
All right, I'm going to fall. Sorry, guys. I got to stop this.
I don't know what just happened. Christine just made a pose.
I got stuck. That was my pose. My pose was
Here,
I'm going to
hang on to that for me 1 second. I'm going to take them just a tiny bit further down.
Do you want to do it on my phone?
No, I got it. So if you can imagine all of this rock area, this is all underwater at peak, you know, when the water's really running well, this thing really gets going and the water is, you know, 3 and 4 and 5 feet deep in places and it runs down through here. Oh, you got big deer tracks. Somebody came down here. So you can see as we go down that, well, if you look right here, this is sort of the first tiny waterfall that you can kind of see. You know, there's that big hole right there. That's where the waterfall's hitting hard. And this one's about maybe 4 feet tall, maybe 5. And you can still see there's water running. It's just not It's actually really beautiful. You know, so this time of year, there's tons of moss and grasses clinging on to that little bit of water running down the waterfall. But as we go further down, if you look right down here, just about there, there's a giant 30-foot waterfall that just drops off immensely. I'm not going to go all the way down there. We will definitely show you that waterfall at a later time, especially when the water is running hard. It's just incredible. The sound, the beauty of it. We've actually discussed building up on the ledge here sort of a little sleeping pod kind of cabin that would allow you to sleep right on the edge of the waterfall. All right, so that is a goodly amount of the property, at least most of the property that you can get to by ATV. We're back on the other side of the crossing. This is
We're back on the western third.
Yeah, the western third. This is what will become the permaculture orchard. You can't really see it. I got a giant mayfly on the camera. You can see at certain places on the property, look in here, we have these amazing valley views that kind of go down gorges and show the other side of the particular valley that this property is located on. Pretty fantastic. And we're really looking forward to being able to build little sleeping pods, little tiny sleeping cabins that are around the property. Each one is kind of unique and different, but each one has a big luxurious bed that we can invite friends to come up to Big Spruce Farm and hang out with us and enjoy different aspects of the property. One or two looking across the valley, and one on the edge of the gorge near the waterfall, one up in the deep, dark, really cool pine forest portion of the property on the north side. They're all like very different experiences, but they're all fantastic. And I mean, the reality is that we'll probably shuttle ourselves in between them, right? Like, why would we not? Let's go sleep in the pine forest tonight. Let's go sleep by the waterfall. Like, why would you not do that?
Quite likely, George will be like, I'm going to be down at the gorge. Find your, don't step on him. Guy?
Video interruptus. Christine saw him. I didn't see him because I was looking at the camera.
Dude, you're heading in the wrong direction. Come here. Oh,
Catch him.
Come here. No, not under the tire, dude. That's a bad spot for you. Come here. I don't know how to...
Just grab him.
I don't grab frogs.
Here, I got him. He's not a frog, he's a toad.
I don't grab toads. I don't grab...
But now he's under the vehicle. All right. Well, the toad got away. All right, so we're going to take the Ranger and get down off of the mountain, go back to the potting shed. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this tour of the property. It was impromptu. We weren't thinking about doing this. We literally just, whenever we come up and we've been gone for a week or two, we always like to look around and just see if anything has happened. You know, trees have fallen, whatever, you know, stuff that we have to take care of immediately. So it's always nice to do a quick ride around. And we thought, you know, this is a perfect little video to show you guys and show you, you know, sort of what the lay of the land is. So let's get down the mountain. All right, guys. Well, I think that's going to be it for this one. I hope you enjoyed our little trip around the farm. I know that you probably have never seen as much of the farm in one video. I think you've seen it in different videos, little snippets. That maybe gives you a better idea of the size of the property and what we're working on and where things are. But yeah, I think that's going to be it. Next video you see, we'll be going back in time and we'll be really putting the old Ford tractor to through its paces and seeing if it's up to the task of bush hogging and clearing so much field. I mean, it's a lot of property to maintain.
And you will definitely, in the next video, you'll definitely be able to see the differences, I think, between where it is in this video and where it is in the next one. So when you see the next one, comment on what you see the differences are.
Yeah, so until then, if you like this video, give us a thumbs up. If you haven't already, subscribe. Again, I know it seems kind of weird and people talk about it sometimes they don't talk about it, but if you leave us a comment and let us know you were here, it makes an enormous difference in how YouTube sends these videos out to people. I've noticed if we get 5 or 6 comments on a video, we get to a certain plateau and YouTube just stops sharing it. If we get 50, 60, 100 comments, which we've gotten on certain videos, suddenly they push it out to tons and tons of new people, which is fantastic for us. So just, leave us a comment about, what you think about the ponds.
Just a waving hand.
Yeah,
anything.
hey, good job. That was a stupid thing. Tell us whatever you want. We don't care. All right. We'll see you guys next time at Big Spruce Farm.
Bye, guys.